Hey guys, it's Misty, Styling Girl 00, and this is going to be the follow-up video from the one which was titled My Gastric Bypass Journey. So if you guys haven't seen that video and you want to check it out, I'll link it in the bottom bar below. In that video, I just kind of went through some of my process and my journey through the whole gastric bypass. And in that video, I asked you guys to leave me some comments, or if you had any questions of things I didn't cover in that video, that I would do a follow-up video. And this one is just that. So if you guys aren't interested, I understand, you can click off because this isn't going to interest everyone. And I will put some before and after pictures after the video, so you guys can check that out as well. And I had a couple people also ask me if I had a Facebook page. I do, so just leave me a comment below this video if you're interested in my Facebook page, and I'll PM you with that because it's a personal Facebook page, so I don't want like everybody and their brother on it. So if you just PM me, then I'll get you linked up with that as well. And I have some questions below. Yes, I'm below. I have some questions in front of me, so if I look below, what I did was I didn't respond to the comments on that video, so don't think that I left you out. I was going to answer those questions here. So don't think that I forgot about you. So hopefully I went through all those and I have the majority of the questions in front of me, and we'll just get started. So a lot of people, or one or two people, had a question about was there any diet beforehand. Now, there wasn't any diet beforehand required with me before surgery. The only thing they asked was that you were NPO after midnight, which means nothing to eat or drink. And the only other thing they also asked was, and it wasn't a requirement, was that you try to lose a little bit of weight, I guess depending on what your weight was and how big you were, before surgery, just because when you're a larger person and overweight, your liver gets enlarged. And when they're doing a surgery laparoscopically, meaning they're not cutting you open, they are actually making like 4 little holes and doing things, laparoscopically through those holes and not making an incision. The liver is actually enlarged, and it's hard to get those tools around in there. So the smaller or the more you can shrink your liver by losing weight, the better off you are. They don't require that, at least my surgeon didn't. I'm sure things have changed because, like I said, this August will be 4 years. So I'm sure, the way medicine changes, that I'm sure it's changed for some people. And let's see, what else did somebody ask me? Hair loss. Did I have any hair loss? I have had major thick head of hair my entire life. Yes, I've had hair loss, and I still have hair loss to this day. It's nothing dramatic. A couple of my friends, like I said, have had this surgery, and they haven't had anything dramatic. So there is some hair loss, and you can take biotin vitamins to help your hair grow and get thicker. So if you do have any problems with hair loss after surgery, I would just recommend taking like a biotin tablet. And then someone else had mentioned about ulcers and things like that. The only pill that I have to take every day because of the surgery, well, you're supposed to take calcium and a multivitamin, which I do take, which I'm really bad at remembering to take. But something that I do take every day on a daily basis, I guess that is every day, is Prilosec, which you can get over the counter, but it's actually cheaper if you can get a prescription from your doctor. So I take Prilosec every day, and it's just to prevent ulcers and things like that. Someone else asked me, how long did the whole process take prior to getting the surgery, like insurance, authorizations, the things that you have to go through to get the surgery. Now, when I had the surgery, the requirements were you had to be at least 100 pounds overweight or more, or have 2, I think it's called comorbidities, meaning like high blood pressure, diabetes, anything like that. I was borderline diabetic, I had high blood pressure, which I took medication for, and I was 100 pounds overweight. I think if you're not 100 pounds overweight, it has to be a certain body mass index, but I don't remember what that is. I want to say it had to be 40. And I think my body mass index was like 38, but because I had high blood pressure and was borderline diabetic, that the insurance covered it. So I think it's like the surgery, I don't even remember how much the surgery was, but I ended up paying, I think, $1,200 out of everything. And you have so many things that you have to go through before my insurance company, which I don't remember, I think I had Blue Cross Blue Shield at the time, I'm not sure, before the insurance company will even cover it. I had to have a psychiatric evaluation, I had to have an endoscopy, I had to have, what else did I had to have so many things done. a psych evaluation and endoscopy. I had to have a chest x-ray. I had to have a bunch of lab work done. I had to have an EKG. But your doctor will give you the list of all the things that you have to have done. I want to say, and this is just an estimate because like I said, it was 4 years ago, from the time I started my first process of wanting to have this done and my first doctor's appointment until the day I had surgery was about 6 months. So it's not a fast process. It just depends on the insurance company. I actually worked for a doctor's office at the time and with insurance companies, so I could kind of speed it up a little bit, but you have to stay on top of things. Like I said, I think it took me about 6 months. Someone else asked me about drinking through a straw. In the beginning, you're not allowed to drink through a straw whatsoever, and I still don't recommend it to this day. I don't drink out of a straw. I always did before. What it does is creates like air pockets in your stomach, and those air pockets take up space. So if you're drinking, you want to be able to get all of the protein and nutrition in you can, so you don't want wasted space, and drinking through a straw is just creating air pockets, and an empty air pocket, you know, is just wasting where you could have food in. So I don't recommend drinking through a straw. And like I said in the video before, there are certain things that you're not going to be able to eat, you know, like I said, or I don't want to say not be able to eat, but more or less limit yourself. I can hardly eat any pasta, bread. Rice is another one. I love fried rice, and I can't eat a whole lot of that. But my main intake, you want your main intake to be protein, and I'm a meat girl. I love meat, so I had no problem getting in my protein. And what was I gonna say? Until this day, you need to get your protein in. So, and exercising, of course, is going to help. I hate to exercise, and to be honest with you guys, I think I started the gym after I had the surgery for maybe a month or two, but I haven't exercised since. And I'm not setting a good example because it's not the way to do it. You definitely need to exercise. And I think I've gained, like I said in the video before, about 15 or 20 pounds back in almost 4 years, which I don't think is too bad, but I'd like to lose those 20 pounds, so I'm trying to limit myself now. I'm back drinking. I was drinking regular soda. Now I'm back to drinking diet, which I should be drinking water. I shouldn't be drinking any soda. So I'm just trying to cut back a little bit, and it'll come off. It's not that hard. It's just the whole surgery thing. I cannot stress enough is mind over matter. Eating is an addiction, just like drugs, just like smoking. And you can quit those. So you can, you know, the surgery makes you physically stop eating as much as you were. And you can stretch your stomach back out. I've had a friend that had surgery and gained every bit of her weight back, and it was just from overeating again. And eventually you stretch that pouch, or if you want to call it your new stomach that they have made, back out again. And why would you want to go through all that surgery and all that, you know, that hard work and to ruin it? Because I know that I don't want to do it, so I definitely want to get these 20 pounds back off. Let me just go through here and make sure that I hit everything. Like I said, I do have some before and after pictures I'm going to put up. I didn't have a whole lot of pictures taken before because, as you guys know that are overweight, I didn't like my picture taken. So I was the one standing in the back. I didn't want to be in the front. So I'll show you some pictures, and like I said, if you guys have any other questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll either respond to you personally if I don't have a bunch, or I'll do another video. And like I said, I do have a Facebook page, but it's a personal page, so just PM me, and I'll link you up with that if you want to hook up with me there. And I think that's it. But if you guys have any further questions, oh, one more thing I wanted to say. Thank you so much for all of the kind words, the sweet comments, all of the support. I was kind of leery about putting up the video. YouTube, you know, I don't want to say YouTube, I shouldn't say it that way. People can be really nasty, and I've had nothing but great comments and great support, and that's definitely what you need when you have this surgery. I'm not afraid to tell anybody that I had it, because a lot of people say that it's an easy way out, and it's definitely not an easy way out. I still sacrifice till this day of the food that I love, and if your addiction is food, you know, it's hard to give those things up. Till this day, 4 years later, I hate Thanksgiving dinner. I hate Christmas dinner because I have to pick and choose what I can eat. But the pros way outweigh the cons. You know, I am much more happier, much more healthier. I don't stand in the background. I enjoy having my picture taken, and I enjoy shopping for clothes. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I'm filming by a window and it's absolutely pouring down raining. But anyway, I love shopping for clothes now. I can shop pretty much anywhere. I don't have to go just to the plus size stores. So it's definitely life changing. So like I said, I just want to thank you guys for all of your love and all your support. And if any of you are pre-op, post-op, have any questions, anything, please feel free to contact me. Like I said, a support group, support system, that's another thing. If I had meetings that I had to go to after that were support groups, because you don't want to trade one addiction for another. A lot of people that have surgery end up becoming alcoholics because they change one addiction to another, or smokers, or just anything. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to leave me a comment below. And I just want to thank you all so much for your love and support through everything. So until then, guys, I'll see you in the next video.